Yes, lads, in this video today we're going to be creating a tropical beach environment inside of Unreal Engine. We're going to feature trees, coconuts, sand, realistic water and everything in between. It's going to be really easy to follow, so let's get started. The aim of this video is to teach you the simplest and most effective way to make a beach level like this. So I've just deleted my landscape. You can use any level of your choosing, it'll work in any. And I've just gone to the plugins folder and I've just enabled the water plugin. Say experimental, but trust me, it's perfectly fine. I'm also going to enable the landmass plugin because we're going to use that later on, or maybe in a different video actually. But it's going to prompt you to restart your editor, so do that, and then we're going to go into the landscape mode. This is where we create our base landscape. Now you can choose any size you want. It doesn't really matter. I know there is some documentation online on the Unreal Engine website which tells you the best performing landscapes, but for this tutorial we are definitely not going to need anything that advanced. So just pick something that suits your level. I think this is probably gonna be alright for me. Let me just have a look at this. Maybe this. And you can obviously change the number of components and everything. But we actually do need a material, or else it'll just be like a blank canvas. So let's not do that. And let's go and find this really nice Thai beach sand material from Fab. To get to Fab, all you have to do is press Control Space on your keyboard and click Fab, and it'll bring up this little window here. Now we can actually just search sand or Thai sand or anything you want really. And I'm going to click Price Free and just look at all the free ones for this tutorial. I like this Thai beach sand one, so I'm just going to change the quality to high on the top right, just here. Change that to high quality and add to the project. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference when you have it between like high and low, but for the sake of the tutorial, why not? If your landscape's underperforming, then maybe try and lower the detail on it. Okay, now if we go to the folders, we can actually go to Fab Surfaces and search for our Thai Beach surface, which should be in here inside the materials, and this is it. So if we just click it once, sorry, no, double click it, we can actually change some of the values if you want to. So if it doesn't look as good as it did on the Fab website, then obviously you can change some of the stuff here. We can change the displacement, so it looks like it's raised higher or lower. We can change the albedo, basically everything. So if yours doesn't look good, you can just change it, but this looks okay for me, so I'm just going to add the material here by clicking this little arrow, because we've already got it selected in our content browser, and click create. Now we have a beautiful beach landscape, but as you can see, it's quite like tiled, and I really don't like the look of this. So I'm actually going to click play and have a look in game, and as you can see, it has like these streaks down the level, or down the landscape. Let's change this. So what we actually need to do is change the texture coordinates inside this material. So just double click it to open it up, drag it here so we can actually get a good view on what is happening, and click tiling. Now if we change this to 0.1, as you can see, it zooms in quite a bit, and it stops the tiling when we actually go and play in the third person camera view. We can actually change this to maybe something like this, 0.3 or 0.25, and this looks pretty good to me. Obviously when we zoom out really far, it will still look tiled, but now we're in actual game, which is what matters, it'll look pretty good. So let's just save everything. And let's actually add our water. So let's just click this little weird button here and search for water. And we're going to go water body ocean and just drag it down into the center of your landscape. Click water and complete. Just like this. And now we have our ocean in and around our landscape. So we have a couple of issues here, and we're going to fix them in a minute, so don't worry about that. But what we need to do is basically scale this down, and we need to adjust the fall off. You can either change the scale of this in the scale parameter on the right hand side in the details panel, or you can just scale it down like I am going to do now. So I'm just going to press space on my keyboard with it selected, and just hover over this line here and just drag it so it looks a little bit smaller and fits the level a little bit more. Next, in the detail panel with the ocean body selected, we're going to go to fall, and this is the fall off, and we're just going to change that to width. That just stops this weird crease that we keep getting. Now if we click play, we have our little beach environment with the water coming over the edge, and it looks really nice. Obviously we've got some collision issues, but that's not for this video. This is just basically how to make the landscape. So I'm actually just going to go to Fab, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to search some different assets just to give this beach a little bit of life. Obviously this is not necessary, but I'm just going to show you how I go around making these type of environments. So I'll just search for palm, and I'm going to get some palm trees, I'm going to get some coconuts, and I might get a couple of rocks, something like that. And I'll just drag them into the level, and then I will skip ahead to the foliage part, which is pretty important. So I've got all my assets apart from the coconuts, which I just want to like scatter around the level, just around the beach underneath the trees. So I'm just going to search for some kind of coconut, obviously change the price to free, and for some reason this isn't working when I click that, so I'm just going to find a nice little free one. So price free, and how about this one on the right? I think that'll do it. Add to project, and then you should see a loading bar on the bottom right. When that's done, you will have your coconuts in the level. Now these trees and these rocks, I've just dragged them in, nothing special there, and we have this little coconut. Now we can actually go to the foliage mode and drag the coconut into here like this, and when we have this selected and paint, we can actually paint some coconuts in, but they are pretty much bigger than my character, so let's change the scale on these, and we can do that by selecting it, go into the scale X, and just changing it to like 0.1 and 0.4. Now there'll be all different sizes between 0.1 and 0.4. Just scatter them underneath the trees, just give it a little bit of life. Obviously you can spend way more time on this environment than I have, because it's only took me 6 minutes up to this point. But yeah, we can go back to selection mode, and we can now click play and look at the level we have. So this beach looks really nice and clean. Obviously we've got the water colliding with the beach, giving us like this really nice tropical beach environment with the coconuts and the palm trees. But there is one little thing, well I say little, it's probably the most important thing, and that is the lighting. So I'm just going to change the directional light to give this level a bit more life. What I've done, I've just selected the directional light in the details panel here, and I'm just changing it, just giving it some like shadows, and for some reason the coconuts are glowing in the dark. That was not intentional. But yeah, this is the final product. Also, the project files for every single tutorial on my YouTube channel are on my Patreon. Go and check that out to support me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Like the video if you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time. Peace.